Okay, Sevian, you're my first victim. It's my first roster review, so give me a break. I've never done this before, but I'm gonna go over your roster. I'm gonna look at some of the factions and your arena team, and look at your ships too. But let's get right into it. So look at your inventory here. First thing I notice is you have Darth Revan, and that is awesome. I don't have him, but I'm not 100% sold on him at this point. Let's look at the factions. Alright, so on this bounty hunter team, it's good, and Zeta Bosk is great. For the Chewbacca event, you do want to have Dengar. He's crucial. He keeps R2 from stealthing the other team. And Greedo could use some more gear as well. He can do some pretty amazing stuff if he chains those crits over and over and over again. This is a great defense team for Grand Arena and Territory Wars. I don't know if I would worry about IG-88 too much, for the Chewbacca event. I think Cad Bane's better there, but he is good for his ship, so keep that in mind. Look at the clones real quick. I know they're not a good faction right now, but Rex is a crazy good, catch-all leader. He's been important in this game for a really long time. I think that the clones are probably going to get reworked, or they'll add new ones to make them relevant in some part of the game with the new Clone Wars episodes coming out. Droids, yeah, they're kind of all parts of different factions, so I'm not going to really worry about them too much. Let's look at Empire. Vader with the unique Zeta. Okay, perfect, good. Next step on your Empire, Emperor Palpatine. His leadership Zeta is amazing, and I've recently seen some videos where he might make a comeback as a leader. Tarkin, maybe for his capital ship, but other than that, he's actually not that important. Grand Admiral Thrawn definitely needs some gear. He's also got, still the best capital ship on its own in the game. And definitely put a Zeta on his ebb and flow, his best ability. So, Ewoks. You probably already know, yes, you want C-3PO. He's great. Your Ewoks need some love here. The squad is going to be Chirpa, Wicket, Logray, Paplu, and Elder. Tebow and Scout are not as important, although if you're doing 3v3 Grand Arena, if you have Tebow, you can make 2 3v3 Ewok squads with that. You're going to want to Zeta Chief Chirpa for sure. He really transforms those Ewoks with that Zeta. It's one of those abilities where, and there's a few of these I want to tell you about, but it's one of those abilities where one Zeta on a team can take them from 0 to 100 in no time at all. Eventually, you do want C-3PO, so I would probably work on them sooner than later for sure. First Order, Kylo Ren Unmasked, he is another character where one Zeta can transform the entire team. If you do a second Zeta on that team, it's got to be OG Kylo. This is a great team for territory wars and Grand Arena on defense. I mean, they have stuffed me more times than I care to even think about. First Order Officer is pretty good, especially with 3v3 with the two Kylos. And First Order TIE Pilot, he has actually a really good ship and a really fast ship too. If you're looking to, if you need any ship love, I'll look at your ships in a second here. Oh, and if I skip over a faction, it's because I don't think that they're important. My opinion, but, troopers. You really don't have to work on these guys right away. They're pretty super in game, I think. Although Warrior seems to think that they should be on, pillar 1 or whatever. I make a buy without troopers. Obviously, the team is Veers, Stark, Snow Trooper, Shore Trooper, Death Trooper. Range Trooper can fit into there pretty well, and Death Trooper, for sure you do want to farm him. He's going to be really important in getting the Chex Mix team for the Sith Raid Tier 3. Pretty much nobody can do what Death Trooper does for that team, so there's no substitute for him. Just don't work on these guys, but I do want to mention some of the most fun I've had playing this game was one of those territory war bonuses where they gave all these crazy bonuses to the Jawas, and I don't even remember what team I was playing against, but I destroyed them because I would use one ability and then they would just continue to assist over and over and over and over and over again. That was super fun, but don't work on Jawas. Last year I would have told you to work on Jawas so that you could get those, crit damage, I think, mods. But now those don't require Jawas, so whatever, no big deal. Jedi Knight Revan. I still think he's the best. I am not 100% sold on Darth Revan taking over. Your number one most important next Zeta is his third Zeta. He needs all three of those. And then he is a powerhouse, obviously. We all know that. He took over the meta. He's crazy. I saw you're using Ezra in your arena team. I'm a big fan of that. I'm doing the same thing. But I know it's not the quote-unquote best Revan team. A Zeta on him would be awesome. That flourish is killer with a Zeta. You might sub out Ezra for General Kenobi on your arena team, even at 5-star. He needs some more gear, obviously. Definitely work on General Kenobi. He's been extremely good for the longest time. He's going to continue to be extremely good. Oh, I want to say something else, but looks like you already Zeta'd Bastila, so, cool. I wrote these notes a few days before I recorded this, but yeah, if you have Bastila and Jedi Knight Revan, you can make 2 Jedi teams for 3 versus 3 Grand Arena. and that works really well. I like to use Bastila, Zeta, Bastila on defense, and Jedi Knight Revan on offense if the opponent also has Revan. When I'm in Grand Arena, I always want to take my Revan against their Revan because, well, he's the only hard counter for that. Alright. Night Sisters. Keep working. It's just, it is part of getting, Sith Raid ready is having a decent Night Sister team. I don't have much room to talk. Mine are terrible. Talzin, you're going to get free shards for Talzin during that one event that they run. She's another one of those characters where one Zeta on her transforms the entire team. Keep working on Talzin, Zombie, Acolyte, and Asajj. And of course, you're working on Doc, obviously. She's the other part of that team. Old Republic, all 7-star. I love it. I think it's great. Like I said, I'm not 100% sold on Darth Revan, but you did it already, so hey, it's done. What's done is done. And you got another team that you can use, another leader, if you start putting Zetas on Darth Revan. Alright, so Phoenix is, you got 5 of them at 7-star. You obviously have Thrawn, and, not much to be said about that. They're good on defense in Grand Arena and Territory Wars, so it's not a whole lot of work you really need to do to them. Good job there. Look at the Rebels. I know Rebels is a huge faction. There's your 5-star Chewbacca. You have Raid Han? CLS needs at least one Zeta. It binds all things. It's like a mini leadership ability on top of his leadership ability. It's amazing. R2D2 needs a Zeta on Number Crunch. You got your Phoenix. Princess Leia and Admiral Akbar together can be kind of fun if you have another character that does abilities that don't do damage. That's one of my favorite 3v3 teams is Akbar lead with Leia and somebody like Hermit Yoda or C-3PO that uses abilities that don't do damage because they just call Leia to assist, and then she attacks multiple times. It's super fun and actually really effective. There's Raid Han. You got CLS, you got Raid Han, and you got Chewbacca. Those 3 kill it. 3v3 Grand Arena, that's one of the best offensive teams. Keep working on Chewbacca gear, keep working on trying to get them starred up. I know that event's going right now, and it's extremely difficult, and I've heard of one person that has beaten tier 7 of that without Dengar. So, going back to Bounty Hunters briefly, Dengar. Zeta, Raid Han, Zeta, CLS. That's a big rebel thing here. So Resistance, yeah. Scavenger Ray, Finn, BB-8, they gotta be 7-star. Plus the 2 vets. Jedi Training Ray is amazing. She kills any team. My Jedi Training Ray team kills any team on offense in Territory Wars or Grand Arena, and a lot of the time the other team takes between 0 and 2 turns. You gotta have her. She's amazing. Finn leadership. It has changed a little bit. I think it's still good at this point, but he's also really good under JTR's lead. As far as the Ray Scavenger and Resistance Trooper go, you're going to want to prioritize stars and gear. After you get Ray to 7-star, because you have to have her for the event, you're going to want to prioritize Resistance Trooper. He makes that Resistance team just do crazy amounts of damage in the raid, or even outside of it, if that's where you choose to use him. I know, even though Scavenger Ray is way hotter than Jedi Training Ray. Sorry, she's not quite as good as Resistance Trooper for that. Anyway, Rogue One. Jen's got a good leadership ability. If you have maybe a third or fourth rebel team. Baze and Chirrut. You don't have Chirrut unlocked. Baze and Chirrut for the longest time was an incredible duo, and I think they're still good when you put them together. Chirrut is also part of the Chex Mix team for Phase 3 of the Sith Raid. You can sub in Rex instead of Chirrut. But yeah, we got to have one of those two characters for that Chex Mix team. And they're great, just using the two of them. Maybe if you have a second Rebel team, it could be like, Akbar lead with Chirrut and Baze or whatever. Skipping to Scoundrel. Something you can work on down the road when you're really beefing up your, back row Grand Arena teams. Kira plus Mission, Zalbar, who's the other ones? Nest, L3. Is that 5? Yeah, that's 5. That team is an absolute nightmare on defense. An absolute nightmare to face on defense. That's definitely down the road. Don't need to focus on that quite yet. Sith, you got Darth Revan. We all want Darth Traya. She is still really, really good. Zeta on Hot Topic Bastila there. Kind of jumping the gun on it, but she's also really good in a Traya team, and she's definitely pivotal in the Revan team. Palpatine is possibly making a comeback as a leader with Bastila Fallen, or Badstila, whatever. You just you already got the Zeta, so good job. Might have jumped the gun a little bit, but hey, Darth Revan and Bastila, they're a great combo. Thing about your Sith is Nihilus and Scion are awesome together. They are great together. Scion and Nihilus, both of them are just a grind to farm. I remember farming them and just beating my head against the wall, getting one shard a day for these guys, but they are so good together. And you want Zetas on both of them, not on Nihilus's leadership. That's actually that's down the line for you. It's on his Lord of Hunger, but that's gonna be way down the line for you. The rest of this, not too concerned about. I'm going to take a look at your ships, and for some reason this always, I feel like it almost sorts them in the same order that mine are in. I don't know why, but sort by power. Alright, 6-star TIE Advance, keep working on that. That's a great ship. Really, in almost any squad, that TIE Advance is amazing. Ghost and Phantom 2, right now are killing it with Houndstooth and the OG Falcon under, Akbar's Home 1. Chimera is the best capital ship right now. That's no doubt about it. Yeah, I mean, you can make a pretty good fleet here. TIE Silencer at 7-star, that's awesome. That ship does a ton of damage. Speaking of ships, let me just look at what you've got for the arena squad. So, using Tarkin lead, Houndstooth, Silencer, and then Maul's ship. Chimera is a better capital ship. I don't know. This is kind of like an old meta, but you can also. How's your Biggs? Your Biggs is not up there. That was kind of nasty back in the day. Double tanks, but yeah, I can't talk too much about ships because I still run a Republic fleet. I can't let go of it. I got a death grip on that, and I'm gonna keep running them, hopefully until they get reworked and actually become good. But at least I can still win on offense until I hit the top 10 wall in my shard that I'll have the OG Millennium Falcon, which is ridiculous. Anakin's ship is really good. This is just stupid. Oh, it's so when you upgrade this again, it exposes all enemies. So he comes in, exposes all enemies, does his AOE. If Houndstooth is on the board, you're targeting Houndstooth. He can put buff and heal immunity, and that takes Houndstooth out of the game until it takes another turn because it's going to use its basic attack and dispel all debuffs on itself. Nice ships. I like them. You're obviously you're gonna hit a wall with your reinforcement materials. Slave 1 at 5, Houndstooth at 6, Xanadu Blood at 4, IG 2000 at 4. With where you're at, and your Ghost and Phantom 2. You might consider with your ship farming, switching gears to, get the bounty hunter ships up there so that you can get that OG Falcon, an under-geared Rebel fleet with the OG Falcon is killing it right now. Of course, that's just right now, but, I want to talk about your arena team a little bit. One more thing to touch on your fleet arena is make sure you're doing all 5 of your battles every day, and you'll probably get higher in the arena. Okay, so squad arena, Revan needs another Zeta. All 3 Zetas are amazing for him, and when you put them all 3 together, they're even better. Plus 105 speed on him is pretty sweet. I like that a lot. You have a speed set on him. Let's see. I'm wondering. Plus 105. Okay, yeah. He's fast. He's good. 253. But I want to look at Yoda too. 271. You got offense mods on him. That's great. Yeah, she doesn't much matter where she's at for speed. Neither does Jolie or Ezra. You want to, if you have any way to do it, you want your Revan to be faster than your Yoda. You want him to be the fastest on the field. You want his direct focus to go off first. That's going to call Yoda to assist. He's going to gain the turn meter. He's going to go in anyway. So this, you can kind of sacrifice speed on Yoda for offense with him, to try and get your Revan to go first if you can. And then obviously you need another Zeta on Revan because it's amazing. Take a look here. As far as priorities go, you got to get JTR. You want JTR. She's a powerhouse on offense, Grand Arena, and Territory Wars. She's a great character all around. She kills it in pretty much every tier of the Sith raid. Although she's, the best in Phase 1. So you're going to need to farm the vets, and I know it hurts me to say it. I remember farming them. It took forever. It was such a grind. As far as legendary or hero's journey characters go, you're really missing out without Jedi Training Rey. You got to get her up there. Trust me, you want her. So that's priority for farming. You want Jedi Training Rey. Zeta priority first goes to Revan. Get that third one on him. And then I mentioned another couple other places that you could put some Zetas. Those ones that really transform your teams. 7-star those bounty hunters and their ships for Chewbacca and the Millennium Falcon. Either Rex or Chirrut for the Chex Mix team. Ewoks are going to come after that. They're not going to be a priority right this second. It's kind of the same with First Order and Imperial Troopers. Night Sisters, same kind of deal. You want to keep working on them, but they're not going to be your next priority. Rebels, Commander Luke. It binds all things. That really takes him to another level. I've got all 3 of his Zetas. And on, Territory Wars and Grand Arena, he kills it on offense. And then, there's some other Zetas, but you got a couple of characters that you kind of have to work on first before you worry about putting a Zeta on them. Sevian, I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, any specific questions, feel free to DM me or message me. I'll do my best to answer them, and if I don't know the answer, I'll find out or find somebody who does, I guess. But nice job on your roster. Great job on having Darth Revan. He's ridiculous. Not convinced he's a replacement for Revan at this point. I think that there's going to be something coming down the pipes to where, like it was before, there was going to be like a rock, paper, scissors type of thing. With at least 3 teams being able to dominate the meta. Maybe even more at this point. One more thing that I forgot to mention is General Grievous got reworked. He's just still not that great. But, he'll be like a back wall Grand Arena team. Work on him later after you've got Jedi Training Rey. All right. Thanks for watching. If I can get this thing to... Oh, there we go.